awkward.
Well, I can never unsee that.
This is the Alan Cox Show. 100.7 WMMS.
I go flying down that highway to that hideaway, stuck out in the woods to do the
Boot, spook, and booby.
Yeah, heel-toe, do-si-do. Come on, baby, let's go boot-scoot. Oh, Cadillac, blackjack, baby, meet me out back. We're gonna boogie. Oh, get down, turn around, go to town,
Boot, spook, and booby. Boot, spook, and booby.
Any chance Luke Combs covered Boot, Skook, and Booby?
No.
Oh.
He did cover Brand New Man by...
What is that?
It's a song.
By
Brooks and
whom?
Dunn. Dunn? Brooks and Dunn.
Brooks and Dunn. Okay. They're the Boot, Skook, and Booby guys.
Mhm.
Yeah. Brand New Man. Now, does he intro that or you know that song? Do they
I
go,
know that
hey,
song.
here's one, some of you
that
might not?
song starts right off, like it comes out the gate with lyrics. There's no ramp or anything like that.
Gotcha.
So it was like in between, and there was like a 10 seconds where the stage was dark, and then he came out singing that song.
How long did he do?
2 hours.
2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I figure you got a football stadium full of people. You can't do an hour you can't do an hour 40 or something. Yeah. Do a full
But he's been
thing.
around a while too,
great.
right? Like he's not new.
He's been making music for like 10 years.
Yeah.
But
He's probably
he's
been
like
making music more than that, but like he's been big
He's been
for 10
famous.
years.
Yeah. He's a hit maker, dude.
He's
a lot
only
of his songs shoot to number one.
But he's only early 30s, right? It's not like he's
Mhm.
been doing it since he was 15.
I don't know when he started writing, but he started to gain some attention about 10 years ago.
Is he another one of those dudes whose songs got famous with other, like he wrote songs for other people and they got famous? He's like, well,
No.
I should be doing this. That's kind of what Chris Stapleton did. He's like, well, I should be doing this. You know, you can make a lot of money writing songs for other people, but eventually you want to get out there and do your own thing. Guardians play tonight. It is a 6:40 start. So shortly after 6, we will roll out to get your coverage underway with Hammy and Rosie and the whole Hee Haw gang. Tonight, 6:40 against the Detroit Tigers. Here on M. You saw Tom Brenneman has a gig again. Remember Tom Brenneman? Tom Brenneman was the long-time voice of the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah.
And 4 years ago, almost...
Kansas City.
Well, he referred to Kansas City as he thought that his mic was off.
Yeah.
He was getting ready to come back, and he threw a homophobic slur out, the F word, attaching it to Kansas City, of all places. That's the great unanswered question for me. I guess maybe you're not, you're a fool looking for logic in a comment like that, but Tom Brenneman was the son of a very highly regarded Reds broadcaster, I believe. His dad was Marty Brenneman. His dad's in the Radio Hall of Fame. And Tom Brenneman started doing, they had him on the Cubs, I think, when I was a kid for a little bit. But he kind of made his way around, but he spent a lot of time with the Cincinnati Reds. And then once that clip went out, he was on a hot mic. And more people were impressed by the fact that during his apology, he kept calling the game.
Oh, it's one of the best moments in sports.
Yeah. And it's hard to find, though, I got to tell you, because it's a lot of the pieces of video of this guy are other people commenting on it. He's like, it's deep into left field by Castellanos. Anyway, I'm really, really sorry what you heard me say.
I made a comment earlier tonight that I guess went out over the air that I am deeply ashamed of. If I have hurt anyone out there, I can't tell you how much I say from the bottom of my heart. I'm so very, very sorry. I pride myself and think of myself as a man of faith. As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be a home run. And so that'll make it a 4-0 ball game. I don't know if I'm going to be putting on this headset again. I don't know.
Yeah, he didn't. They let him go shortly after that, but he's got a new gig. You look like a deer in the headlights, boy, with that apology. You're on a hot mic like that and you come back, you're on camera. It's not like you just hear his voice. You got to look into the camera. I consider myself a man of faith. Barf. So his new gig is he got hired by the CW, which I didn't even realize was still a thing. The CW is still a thing. And they're doing nationally televised college football games. And so he will be making his debut on August the 31st, almost 4 years to the day that he lost the Reds gig. Oregon State will meet Idaho State. And he will be there on the mic, having been chastened and learning from his experience. Boy, you will never, ever make a mistake like that again if you get caught. You know, because they have the headsets, right?
Yeah.
So at the very least, you'd put your hand over the bulb, look around, make sure, check all your levels. But there's a lot going on when you're calling a game. But Broadcasting 101 is all, you guys know this, always assume there's a live mic near you. Always assume there's a hot mic. So, yeah, the Reds took him off immediately, and then the next month he was like, they told him, like, I assume they told him, hey, if you don't quit, we'll fire you. Because I think he ended up quitting. If you don't submit your resignation. But Marty Brennaman was his dad. He was very famous. Now, I don't know if Marty Brennaman had ever run into anything like that. You know, if you come from, if you're like a second-generation broadcaster, and you have to go home and tell your dad what happened, if he didn't see it. Let's say his dad didn't see it. Hey, how was the game? I ran into a bit of a snag.
Should probably tell you something.
I ran into something that rhymes with snag. And it's my fault. And you know me, Dad. I'm a man of faith. They had come back from commercial. It was the first game of a doubleheader. And he didn't realize he was already on the air. There's great blooper reels on YouTube. Harmless, you know, nothing terrible like this, but harmless. They'll do a live shot to someone and they don't realize that they're on the air yet. They go, hey, let's go to Jim for more. And he doesn't realize, you know, that they've cut to him. And they're complaining about something or they're swatting a fly. What's the one where the guy gets the bug in his mouth? There's a ton of those. That has the added difficulty of you're on camera. You call it a ball game, you're not on camera. But Kansas City, I don't even know where he got that. He essentially called it the gay capitals of the world.
Yeah.
Kansas City.
Yeah.
Who knew? Now, you have to think the receiving end of that is that, you know, people might have brushed it off and been like, hey, we're on the map for something other than barbecue. You have to imagine if you're a part of the gay community in Kansas City, you're always looking, you're not looking to be called out like that, but would have been nice to get a little bit of information along the way. I don't know that I've ever had, people are asking me if I've ever had a hot mic moment. Boy, I certainly don't want to jinx it. But Kansas City F's is a Blazing Saddles line, somebody says.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Is that where he got Blazing Saddle? I just finished that Gene Wilder documentary. And obviously they didn't linger too much on that kind of thing with Blazing Saddles, but it was pointed out, they were like, that movie could simply not be made now. Because you have to think Blazing Saddles is a movie, you know, all these studios still own all the IP for these movies. And so they'll go, well, they'll just kind of look at their stable and go, well, what do you think we could reboot? And frankly, I don't think anybody would want them to do that because it would be so defanged that it would be no fun. That kind of exists in a very specific moment in time. A line from the movie is hopping around like a bunch of Kansas City Fs. All right. Well, but imagine that's how you reconstitute that as you're coming back. Because it's not like he quoted the line. You quote a line from a movie, no matter how. Right.
Like Blazing Saddles.
Right. You quote a line, and no matter how distasteful it might be, you could go, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. You make something up. But that, Blazing Saddles. So, no, I can't recall having a hot mic moment. I've had a number of other terrible moments in broadcasting, but no. I know the person that I replaced here at WMMS apparently had a number of hot mic moments that were that were not to his advantage, I guess. I'm not privy to them, but I know I'm told that. But Dick and the Boot Skook and Booby, they're out there doing those gigs all weekend. He, I think, called on Friday, and he just couldn't have been more pleased at how many jobs they had lined up. I think he's kind of like the Luke Combs of his area. You know, Luke Combs does a couple shows at MetLife. You pare that down a skosh, and, you know, you got a room with 75 people in it. It's a big night.
But I'll come. How about that?
I got money. It is $1,000, second to last chance today to win from the Buzzard Bookie. So listen closely, and I hope you win.
This is your chance to bet with the Buzzard Bookie and win $1,000 now. Enter this nationwide keyword at WMMS.com. Bills. That's Bills. Enter it now at WMMS.com.
Alan, baby, Pete from Pittsburgh here. Calling to say about the movie Twisters. Went to go see it this weekend with my son. He's 10 years old. I asked him what he thought. He said, it was fun. I honestly did not enjoy it. I am not a fan of pop country music. If anyone there is a fan of pop country music, go see it. That's the only thing that movie is good for. Huge letdown. Hate the show.
Twisters is a big hit, yeah?
I thought everybody was saying that it sucked.
Oh, really?
It, like, sucks in a nostalgic way.
Oh. Well, I think your boy is the one that's got the big, like, single from the movie.
Who?
Luke Combs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. I maybe that's what he's alluding to there. It made like $85 million.
Oh, yeah. Ain't No Love in Oklahoma. That's one of his big ones.
Okay. It's not one he wrote specifically for?
No.
I remember the first one, Van Halen wrote a song, and it was when they were, Van Hagar, but it was when they were really at each other's throats. And Sammy had written the song. I don't even know if I have it. It was called Humans Being. It wasn't a terrible song, but they wrote it specifically for the movie Twister. And it was really in the last days of Van Halen and Sammy Hagar. And he had written a song about how much he wanted out of the band. And he was like, well, I'm going to reconstitute this because it was him basically writing about how he couldn't get anything together, or how his relationship with Eddie had waned to the point where they couldn't even be in the same room together. And he wrote it, and Eddie was like, I don't like this, it stinks or whatever. And then the studio or somebody came to him like, you guys whip something up for this tornado movie we got? And they're like, how about this? So Eddie was all mad because they loved Sammy's song and all that infighting there. So it was okay. I mean, it was every inch of Van Halen's song, but it was supposed to be a song about how much he didn't like Eddie Van Halen. They used it in the movie. But I mean, $80.5 million? I mean, were people going for nostalgia? Were they hoping that there ain't going to be a Bill Paxton cameo? Maybe there's a Helen Hunt. Are there cameos in it? Neither of you guys have seen it, right? Twisters?
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really care to see it. Like, I didn't even.
Well, no, I have no interest in it either. But
I haven't been to the movies in a while. I had really cooled off on going to the movies. It's just not. I'm going to see Deadpool and Wolverine this weekend, but that's like the only thing that really got me interested right now. Because people are saying like Long Legs is great, but I'm just like not.
I really want to see Long. I just don't have time.
I'm just not a scary movie person that much either. So
really?
Like I'll probably see it at some point, but probably won't see it in the theaters.
I was debating going to see Long Legs last night. I only had one show, and I was done at like 9:30. And I was like, maybe I'll go see this. But then I was like, I don't know if I'm in the right headspace to go see a horror movie alone at 10:30 at night.
And like a heavy
back to an apartment. You know what I mean?
Heavy psychological horror movie. Yeah.
I've got shows in Grand Rapids this weekend, and I'm like, maybe I'll do it one of those days, like during the day when I've got nothing going on.
When the sun's out.
When the sun's out.
It's not so scary.
Then you don't have to go right to sleep.
Yeah, that's one of those. I mean, the studio expected Twisters to make about $50 million. I mean, $30 million more than that. So I guess that's good news for them. But that just means there's going to be a Twisters 3 or something. But no, Deadpool Wolverine is out this weekend, and like Bill said, that'll be a good one.
Hopefully,
I mean, I don't know how it could stink. People are just going to see whatever they come up with, and whatever they come up with, people will walk out and they go, "Yeah, it's fine. It was fun. It's okay." But I do want to see Longlegs. But who's got time for that? Anyway, so that guy said, Pete in Pittsburgh, he says, "Hey, don't go see Twisters. I'm already one step ahead of you, Pete. I wasn't gonna. But thank you so much for the rec." Longlegs is more 50-50. People are like, half the people have told me it's awesome, and the other half have said not. See, there it is. Text. Longlegs sucked in capital letters. All right. Well, no cameos in Twisters then either. You couldn't even give me a CGI Bill Paxton, like appearing in the tornado. You know, because he didn't die in the movie, he died in real life.
Right. But
you give me a little CGI Bill Paxton. See his face in there. Okay, I've got to take a break here. I'm going to have passes for you later on. You want to see the Ghost Inside? You like your metalcore? 2 hours to midnight presenting that show. So I'll hook you up to see the Ghost Inside later on. They are doing December